Alright, what's up everybody? It's been quite a long time since I've made a video in general. Been really busy IRL again, just life keeps getting in the way. But anyways, let's get to the video. So today I'm bringing you guys my updated Titan build for this patch. This build hits even harder than my last build. I was already one-shotting some people with onslaughts, but I've been running around IC and man, the highest onslaught I think I've hit recently was 27,000. So it was a literal one-shot. With the new changes to onslaught and a few other abilities like Dswing and crit surge, I've been really enjoying this class and even the setup and the slow, sustained, super high damage build. So this one's even more squishier than my last build, but it has pretty high pressure and the burst is honestly consistent. It's extremely high and it's one shot potential. So you can literally fight people that have like 30k plus HP and you can still two-shot them. You can still go around and just kill them in like 2 seconds with like you having low HP or even low stam. Few abilities and they're pretty much dead. So this is a GlassCannon build I've been running around with in IC, and I've had so much fun. I've had so much fun on this class and setup that I haven't even been playing my Magplar nor my Stamplar right now. It's just been simply amazing. Alright, so like I said, this build's been a GlassCannon build, so let's just go over some of the simple stuff that you actually already see here. You immediately recognize that my resists are low. They're super fucking low. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Very squishy, but you have great heals in this setup, and it's just that's what kind of makes up for the low resist. But you're still, how do I say? You're still vulnerable to other players that run around in high burst as well. But anywho, you don't run into that too much. Dots still melt you apart, but dots were gonna kill you on any other class anyways. Even if you had high resist, they're just so strong right now. But let's get to the basics on this screen. So right now, guys, I am an orc still. I just love orc for the stacking weapon damage passives and the faster movement speed. I have 64 points into stamina. I thought about moving some over to health to get a little bit more HP, but I've been doing okay. This is about 25k HP in Zerdo. So our stats right now, just regular stats. 16k Magicka. This allows us to dark deal a fuck ton. This is about 25.3k, 5k or something like that. And CP campaigns, and max stam is at a low 33k. This was a little bit higher before, but I ended up swapping out my jewelry from robust to infused weapon damage. Regen's pretty low in general. Stam recovery, yeah, this is all reliant on, how do I say, dark deal and potions and heavy attacks. But I've been finding the sustain still pretty nice, even though I run around with extremely low regen. But the weapon damage right now just unbuffed. We're at 4100. Our resist are a very low 11k. Crit resist with some CP and in pen pieces, we're at 2600. Our Mundus or boon is the warrior, and we are using tri-staff food again to get all that dark deal, and so we get the passive regen from dark deal and the immediate burst stamina from dark deal as well.
For a weapon
So
damage
this and tripods
just allows us to
and
regen
Briarheart, because I am using Briarheart in this setup. But real quick, let's get to the gear. Actually, before we get to the bar setup. So right off the bat, guys, you can tell I'm two-handed dual wield, and this is a medium armor. So I'm 5 medium, 1 heavy, 1 light. So for the monster helm, guys, we are using Balorgh, however you want to say. So this is amazing to stack with stuff like onslaught, because onslaught you're already getting the pen as soon as you use it. Now you're getting all the extra weapon damage as well when you use the ult. So this is definitely like a finishing touch to this setup. It's been really nice, and it's been helping me out a lot. If you don't have Balorgh, I do recommend one Veli, one Kina, or even Bloodspawn. You know, Bloodspawn I recommend for every other class. Like, Bloodspawn is honestly just so amazing. But Balorgh, so damn strong, guys. The 5-piece that we're using on our body is Automaton. Automaton, however you people pronounce it. This may not affect your heals, but this gives you upright a fuck ton of damage with a little bit of extra crit. So while my Briarheart isn't up, I'm still hitting people pretty damn hard because I have Balorgh and Auto still up. So we got 5-piece of body like this. Everything in pen, guys. Don't try to be fancy and use like reinforce or anything like that. It's just not worth it. A few tri-stat glyphs before I go on. So tri-stat on the helmet, chest, and should be okay. This should be tri-stat too, so that's what I was gonna change. But yeah, get tri-stat legs so you get a little bit more HP, a little bit more magicka. But yeah, these are the medium pieces. You got the light shoulder piece and the heavy helmet. So the second set we're using, guys, is Briarheart. We only need this on the front bar, and since we have 48% crit roughly, this set procs a lot. So Briarheart is like a Hundings, except the 5-piece isn't having a 100% uptime, so it has a super high uptime, I'd say, or it's easy to proc, etc. But when it does go up, it gives you 449 weapon damage when you deal critical damage. So this is nasty. The healing that it gives isn't amazing, but I mean, man, like, it stacks with crit surge, so it makes crit surge heal a little bit more if you think about it, since crit surge does heal you while you hit crits. But we're using Briarheart 2H, and why 2H? Because we're using Onslaught, so if we use the Maul or anything like that, we would render the Maul useless, in my opinion. And then we have Briarheart jewelry. I bought these from the golden vendor a while back, so I didn't upgrade them, didn't buy them from people. But yeah, all infused weapon damage, guys. That's why I'm sitting at 4100 weapon damage, just unbuffed. Backbar again. While we're Dswinging targets, you sometimes we'll fight that one target that knows what they're doing, and Dswing just isn't enough to kill them. Master dual wield, definitely get a sword and axe. That's what I recommend, so you get the extra bleed and a little bit extra damage on the Master dual wield ticks. I highly recommend Master Duel with Backbar. If you don't like that, you could always go Dswing or anything like that, but specifically in this setup, highly recommend Dual Wield. You can use Black Rose Dual Wield if you don't want to use Rending and you want that major protection plus the speed. That on the Orc and medium armor is just amazing, so that's definitely my recommendation. I would be using it, but I do not have it, even though I farmed the dungeon like 15 times recently. I just have been having bad luck with it, but I do recommend Black Rose Dual Wield. And the traits on, yeah, like I said, these are all infused. This is a Nurn two-hander with the weapon damage enchantment on it and Backbar. I do recommend minor brutality poisons to have these double dots, but sometimes I do end up playing with like a DKing group, so they'll give me access to minor brutality anyways. So I'll just have my dot damage be the poisons stacking with Master Dual Wield. So it's a lot of pressure just right there. If you ever watch my live streams, I could literally go heavy attack into Blood Craze, and sometimes the target would be so low, I just switch to my 2H and hit them with Reverse Slice immediately. So if you don't have sets like this, you can always like use auto jewelry and like Clever Alk on the body. You can use Spriggans if you don't want to run Onslaught. There's just quite a few standard replacements I'd use, but definitely I would try to go for the weapon damage route, just because the more weapon damage I have, the stronger my 20% major brutality is going to be because of scaling. So this is really strong. But yeah, like the setup buffs around average, like when Onslaught has been procced. So with Balorgh, it's like 7k-ish, and then I also have auto there too, and auto gets a scaling. If I don't remember, yeah, I don't remember. It's like 700 or something when it's that high. So it's almost like I have a high uptime of Clever Alk as well, which is why I've been hitting so damn hard. But let me show you what else I have in the setup. Even though I'm extremely high weapon damage, I still have some other what's it called, buffs that increase my damage overall. versus just flat weapon damage boost. Okay, so if we go to the bar setup, guys, like I said, there's not many abilities. Here's just a quick preview of my bar setup if you're just coming in the video briefly. Bam. So, I'm supposed to have onslaught here. Alright, so right off the back, the first ability is crit surge. Usually I use streak. I would recommend streak, but crit surge itself has been healing me so damn much. Especially since I have high crit. This also stacks with my Briarheart and all my extra healing. So this helps me a lot since I'm really squishy. Crit surge is, you know, from, was it Stormcalling? Yeah, from Stormcalling. If not, you can take this off. You can put on streak. You put streak here, whatever. The new ability we're using, we used to never use this morphed, but I started using it recently again. This can pull Nightblades out of stealth if your Hurricane isn't up for whatever reason. But this ability gives you Major Savagery, which increases your crit. And this stacked with stuff like Briarheart is just great because you're going to be critting more. And Briarheart gives you a lot of crit. The 5-piece procs off of crit. And then you get even more crit with Camouflage Hunter. And all that crit is going to be healing you with Critical Surge. And Critical Surge heals can crit as well, just like all the other heals on this setup. So you see where I'm getting all my extra healing from. So this has been amazing. When you attack from the enemy's flanks, so I'm assuming from the back or from the sides even, in some cases you do get minor berserk. I used the minor berserk before on Sorc, but now I don't need it anymore because of this ability. So this is 8% more weapon damage on top of the 7k average weapon damage that I'm getting. So then we have Executioner, obviously. This is your finishing ability, Dswing, execute. Usually it's 1 or 2 Dswings and then you could just execute there and they're dead. If you're not hitting them for like 12k. And this is Rally. So Rally is your burst heal that gives you another form of Major Brutality. So yeah, these both give Major Brutality, but always try to keep one up. Preferably you want to keep both up at the same time because of the passive healing from this, but then the burst heal from this. And then they also cost different resources. So if you know you need Major Brutality up, but let's say you don't have stamina, pop your crit surge, like heavy attack into a crit surge so you get some stam back and reactivate your Rally. Bam, then you're rebuffed. Yeah, this is your spammable right here though. Dswing is cast time, it got buffed by 8%, so it's nasty. So if I just soft buff here, yeah, we're at 19.2k. If you have Dawnbreaker, that bar does go up by a little bit. So 19.4k, but I just prefer Onslaught. Yeah, this is your spammable. This is what you used to two-shot everybody with. But yeah, Rally gives you a strong base heal. Not a base heal, but you know, when the effect quote-unquote ends or whenever you reuse the ability. So it's really nice. You still get strong Rallies ticks. Here we have Onslaught. This is the bread and butter of this build. So before, I was already onslaughting people and just getting my ult back. Well, now instead of getting my ult back, I just get the penetration that I ignored from the target. So if I hit somebody with this onslaught and they have 22k resist, bam, get 22k physical and spell penetration. So you can use this ability on mag classes as well. It won't hit as hard, but it'll give you that penetration, allowing you to burst. But this ability is the ability I've been hitting people with in IC, and ooh, like look at it right now. It's just 23.8k. This does ignore resist, so it's been nasty. This is just self buff. This is before other buffs like Briarheart and my weapon damage enchant. So Backbar, we are using Master Duel, but right off the bat, guys, we are using Shuffle for our root and snare removal, and then Major Evasion. We're really squishing this setup, and everyone's using AoEs right now, so this is nice. 25% damage mitigation from that, so that helps the tankiness just a little bit. And again, we're not super tanky, but this does help quite a bit. Now this is Master Duel rending. Okay, so we're sitting at what, 20k right now? I'm pretty sure this actually buffs when you use the Master Duel. I don't know if he has a dummy in here. This is my friend's house. Guess I should have located a dummy. But I'll go through tooltips and stuff later. Yeah, we got, look at that, 22k right now. Dot over 10 seconds. This is disgusting. It also reduces their movement speed by 30%. So definitely use this before you start D-swinging. If you know your opponent's fast, so you can slow them down for a bit. Dark Deal, bread and butter for sustain. Use this ability. It costs Magicka. You heal for 8k health and about 3600 stamina. And then an additional 2400 stamina over 20 seconds. You can still spam it even if the 20 seconds isn't over, because we do have access to a lot of magic in this setup. But this is your bread and butter. You heavy attack, dark deal, heavy attack, dark deal. It just, you get your regen back so fast. And then you get Hurricane. Everybody knows Hurricane. It's a small AoE, but it also gives you your major ward and major resolve to increase your physical resistance. And on top of that, you get minor expedition that increases your movement speed by 10%, which stacks well with orc and medium armor. And then we have resolving vigor, 19.1k heal over 4 seconds. Really, really nice. So yeah, that's your main heal. You can rally, have all your heals up, and you can be dark dealing while everything else is up. Your dots are going to be ticking. Your rally is ready for you to use it when you got a burst, and then you can vigor whenever you need to. And then you have your dark deals for extra healing. Rend, a lot of people hate this ability, but if I find the clip, I will post it before you see this footage. But if you use this ability on a Zerg, look at my tooltip, 63k, it heals me for 51% of the damage done. That's going to be about a 15k heal per target if they don't purge it. So I dropped this on a Zerg of like 15 people the other day while I was LOSing them. Even though I was in 16k resistance, I got over 100k in healing over the 16 seconds. 100k on top of me spamming Dark Deal and Vigor. On top of me having Crit Surge on, so the rending the rend itself was critting and was healing me as well. So I was just getting a lot of passive healing. So it's nasty, guys. This ability is underrated. It's almost like a defensive / offensive ult. There was a time where I used this in a duel, or it wasn't necessarily an actual duel, but it was a 1v1 open world, and the dude messaged me and he told me that the rend hit him for 27k total. Like, he got melted. Like, it's a really hard hitting ability, and if they can't purge it, it's disgusting. Few replacements. If you don't want to use Onslaught, you can use Dawnbreaker. I do recommend getting a Maul if you want to use Dawnbreaker. Basically, right off the back, look at the Dawnbreaker tooltip itself. It's just 21k. It's just disgusting. Plus minor Berserk when that happens, plus my heavy attack, plus the weapon damage enchant, plus my off balance as well, and minor brutality and continuous attack. This setup can go to like super high weapon damage. So you can use Dawnbreaker and then Rend, or even you can put Dawnbreaker Backbar if you wanted 2 offensive ults, one for the high burst, and one for like the AoE ult, where you just need to CC multiple people versus killing one target. There has been times where I've had this Backbar and I would Dawnbreaker group and I would still have enough damage to switch to front bar and kill them all, like all of them. So you'll definitely see that. I'm going to be posting a lot of footage on that. But outside of that, I'm not really using any of the abilities here. Like I said, you could replace Camel Hunter if you wanted Streak just for some more mobility, or even Crit Surge. I don't recommend replacing Crit Surge, but it's been nice like this. I'm mainly using this build in IC, so I haven't really needed Streak too much since I have a lot of line of sight in there. But open world, yeah, you might need it. Alright, so now let's get to the CP. The CP, I think I could adjust a little bit better, but right now we have 11 points with the Thumb. This is so our Master Dual Wield is ticking harder. 40 points into Precise Strike, so when we do crit, which is again, our crit is at 48%, we're getting a 60% damage boost on top of the crit multiply already, so it's really hard hitting crits. I have 2300 into piercing, mainly just for my Dswing spamming. Sometimes I don't really need it because of Onslaught, but when Onslaught isn't up and I don't have that pen, I am going to need some sort of pen. I have 65 points into Mighty, so everything that is physical damage, poison damage, or disease damage just hits by a fuck ton, so it's a huge damage increase. Master at Arms, obviously, we are using Dswing and Onslaught. 24% damage increase to those abilities is really going to be killing anybody. It is disgusting. And on top of that, we do have heavy attacks, and light attacks is a key point to this build, so we have 22% increased damage by those. Light and heavy attacks. And like I said, you could go into a heavy attack into Onslaught. You hit someone for 11k, then boom, 22k Onslaught. It's just really nice. And because of this allowed me to get Tactician, so when I roll dodge to dodge an enemy attack, I set them off balance. If you heavy attack them, you CC them, stacking with this and the two-hand passive, you can heavy attack and go to an onslaught. You can hit someone for like 20k plus. If it crits, they're dead, 100%. And I have 11 into blessed here just for a little bit more healing. I might put a little bit more into this soon. So now we're on to the red tree. I got 48 into ironclad. Reduce your damage taken by or from direct damage attacks by X amount. I have 43 into resistant for a lot more crit resist because we are squishy, so if people are going to be critting, and a lot of people crit, especially during the IC patch, since everyone is in like PvE builds, a lot of people spec for crit builds. If I remember, crits, you want more crit in PvE than you do in PvP, so definitely we need some in resistant. Thick skinned, you can put a little bit more into this. Take some from hardier elemental defender because everyone is using dots right now, but I do have 14% damage reduction because I have 34 points into this. I have 56 points into both hardy and elemental defender. I don't try to go above this really, but I do have 12% damage reduction from pretty much both forms of magic and stamina based abilities. And then we have 15 points into extra healing received. So quick recovery. This is nice. It stacks with bless. It stacks with other heals. So this is pretty nice. And an expert defender. Reduces damage from light and heavy attacks. A lot of people don't like this, but people literally light and heavy attack weave. This does help quite a bit. You're getting like more than minor protection versus those abilities. So they do hurt over time. We have 44 points into Sprinter and 48 into Warlord. You know, these are pretty self-explanatory. Reduce spell, not spell, sprint cost, and reduce break free cost. Mooncalf, honestly, I don't need 65 points into this. I actually meant to move this over to more tenacity, but there's nowhere else where we can really put it. So you could actually split this between an Arcanist and get more mag regen if you wanted, but it's not really worth it. Honestly, I should take this out. So just pretend I have this somewhere else. But tenacity for the heavy attack. This stacked with tactician, like you can get a nasty heavy attack resource regen. And then 28 points into roll dodge. Honestly, so we do not need this. Put this at 14%. You know what? Fuck it. No, can't do it. Let's get 11 here. Actually, boom. Oh, no, we could just go bloop. There you go. So now we have 14% into tumbling because this is much more preferred. And then Shadow Ward for your Backbar. Sometimes you do get ulted. You need to hold down your block while you cast your vigor and stuff and get the fuck out of there. 34 points into tumbling on 20 into Shadow Ward. Alright, so now I'm going to go try to see if I can get some tooltips. Maybe he has a dummy here, but that was the champion points. So give me a second, guys, and then we'll go look for some. Alright, so it turns out like not even 20 feet away, bro. There's actually a target dummy right here, so excuse my slight stupidity or blindness, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so let's just kind of get self buff right here. Just put your buffs up. So like I said, right now we're sitting at some pretty high damage. So to do a heavy attack, and let's see if we can get it to proc. So this is just a weapon damage enchant. Wow, I used a lot of pots yesterday. There's Briarheart proccing. So we see that Briarheart's proc to do a heavy attack. Get the weapon enchant. So we're at 5800 weapon damage. Yeah, look at that. 26k onslaught, and so it's like almost a 23k dizzying swing. So it's pretty gross. Let's look at the rending slashes tooltip real quick. So yeah, look at rending, guys. 36,000. 36k. That's like not including Balorgh if we use Balorgh. So if I were to onslaught, heavy attack onslaught, have this up, look at that, 37k. Everything else, not bad, not bad. Yeah, Briarheart does proc a lot, guys. So yeah, 5800 weapon damage is what we're looking at without Balorgh being proc. And then that's not including auto that's constantly being added. So extra 400 is actually getting scaled. So we're sitting at like over 6k weapon damage just consistently with a stupidly strong dot, which I don't know why I didn't go off there. Plus off balance. Like, it's just disgusting, guys. Yeah, look at that. Just nasty tooltips. And then plus like an average of like 20k spell and physical pen, so that's a lot of damage. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the build video. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please hit me up in the comment section below. Like I said, highly recommend getting one more tri-stat glyph. Now that I saw that I didn't have one here, I'm actually going to go and get another one so I have a little bit more HP. Magicka, I'm going to lose a little bit stam, but that's okay. If you don't have infused here, just go with robust or even triune if you happen to have triune. That way you get more max stats everywhere. But yeah guys, thank you guys so much. You can 1vx in this, and I will show you that you can with the clips before this. So before people start saying this is a group only build, it's great for groups. It's better in groups, but you can 1v1 because of the burst, and you can destroy people in outnumbered fights in general. So yep guys, that was pretty much it. I really do appreciate you guys being very patient and waiting for me to actually go and make another video. It's been almost 2 months, but it's been more than that for my Stamsorc videos. But yeah guys, I hope all of you have a wonderful day. If you made it this far in the video, I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to follow my Twitch, don't forget to follow my Twitter, and don't forget to join my Discord so you can have more direct conversation with me. If you have any questions, you can reach me there and have one-on-one conversations with me. Another thing that I've done for some viewers in the past is literally have one-on-one sessions with them. No, I don't charge them, I don't do any of that shit. I go and get them into voice chat. I'm like, alright bro, like this is what you need to do when you're taking pressure on this. Alright, this is what you need to do here. All of that, guys. Like, I've literally sat down with people before, called them in a group chat, and it's a one-on-one duel, like small lessons, so they can start getting their animation counseling on point, know when to execute, know when to use what. So if that's something else that also interests you, like, there's that potential there in my Discord. But I do this quite often, more often than some people think or know. So yeah, you might have a chance that might happen, so you never know. But like, if you just want to sit here and talk to me, man, like, join that Discord, follow my Twitter, follow my Twitch. I'm more active on Twitch now. The video ratio is probably like 10 streams to 1 video now. Like, I've been streaming a lot more than making videos because videos take so long. But here's my build video. I hope everything came out great, guys, and y'all have a good one. Cheers.